stuff. Yeah.
Just
So
test
we just keep rolling. Yeah. So welcome to the first episode of Wellbeing at Singtel. My name is Daniel. I'm really excited.
Are we really gonna get
Yeah. Are we having an imbalance?
the
I need to fluff everybody.
your energy level will be that high? You
because
ramp it up, I will. You know.
Yeah, we ramp it up because we're the MD. His at Singtel customer success. Lionel, tell us what you do with.
I don't know. I gotta ramp myself. I need a cup of coffee. I need a cup of coffee for that.
What do you do at work?
Well, I lead customer success, and that is the entire consumer and SME sales organization, and also care. This involves anyone that had physical stores or digital channels, and all of the customer care options that you have in a customer phone line or broadband or TV. We are the people that they call.
Right. So, thank you for being here this afternoon with me. I want to find out a little bit more about Big, about Wellbeing, about what Singtel does. I mean, I'm curious because I've always heard many good things.
Sure.
Tell me.
The first concept I want to have is be well and feel big.
Right.
When we talk about being well, it is about taking care of yourself.
Right. Myself.
And we thinking care of all ourselves,
Yeah.
maybe in terms of our mental health, physical health,
Right.
whether you want to take care of yourself financially, professionally also,
Yeah.
and how well are you in a social setting.
Right. The social
And
piece is
also,
important.
Social piece is important, inclusive of inclusion.
Right.
There are many things to cover within that. But we truly believe that if you get those elements right with yourself, you truly can become great in terms of the organization.
Right.
Meaning, you will feel big. The organization can feel big. It's an acronym.
What does big means?
Belonging, impact, and growth.
Wow.
When you are well as an individual,
Right.
you will feel the belonging into the organization. You will be able to make an impact in the work that you do, to the business and into your career. And finally, you will grow as an individual to help the company grow also.
Yeah.
It's a huge aspiration that we have, that each individual is capable of taking care of themselves with the support of Singtel and ultimately feeling big. B-I-G.
BIG. Well, speaking of that framework, let's get practical here, right? I mean, framework is framework, initiatives. I just want to hear the real stuff, right? How do you do it? How do you do the real stuff at work? Because that's what matters to us.
Maybe let me tell you a little bit of a story.
Yes, please.
About how this one came to life recently. Now, there are multiple initiatives, but one that sticks to my mind is the work that was being done by my Malacca team. My Malacca call center team. It's more than 600 employees located there.
Wow.
And they felt that they could really improve in terms of how they could take care of their employees from a physical state,
Right.
mental state, in terms of how they interacted with one another, all of those elements about being well. As such, there was an initiative 2 years ago where they took care of the team leaders themselves, led from the front, and came up with multiple physical activities, from futsal, badminton, to walks around Malacca.
I just pick up pickleball.
And that was one of the ones they just recently introduced. Also, it's a very hot spot.
Oh, you have to get me
Malaysia.
to Malacca and do some stuff there. But really, I mean, you mentioned the team leaders, so it was something that the ground decided to.
It is something which we had conversations on because we felt that the organization could be healthier.
Right.
One thing that struck me during the first few months when I joined and visited Malacca was that there was a passing within the Malacca family. One of our colleagues had passed on because of ill health.
Yeah, and one passing is too much.
And one passing is always too much. And obviously people were sad and we were wondering, what could we do better to take care of our employees?
Right.
It started out from a physical standpoint where we provided them the opportunity to exercise and interact. Do note that being in a call center is a very sedentary job. You're in there, you're with your headset and you're speaking to customers for nearly
Sounds
9
like
hours
me
a
in
day.
the podcast.
That's right.
Oh, I better button up.
So the great thing for them is they started with exercise. But they realized that being well
Right.
it's not just about exercise. They had to take care in terms of how their employees felt mentally also. Physically, in terms of the diet, yes, but also mentally, financially.
Right.
They made sure that employees went for health checkups. So
Wow.
complimentary health checkups or subsidized health checkups were provided for them. They made sure that they brought in talks, professionals to give them financial advice so that they could take care of their homes or their personal financial situation. And all this accumulated into different types of activities for employees and also for the community.
Right.
And that's where team bonding came in, and the social aspect of being well came into play.
So bio, psycho, social, plus financial, plus career, right?
And when you bring that all together, what does that result in? We get stronger net promoter scores. We get happier customers.
So the tangible items come in too.
So the net promoter score, especially for a call center in Malacca, has actually improved. Our employee engagement scores also has improved. Employees are happier and healthier.
Wow.
We still have a journey to make in that side, but it's something that we can see that when the leaders take charge, lead by example on initiatives which are meaningful for the community,
right?
You can actually change lives.
Yeah. So let me just pause and summarize here. I'm looking at the camera. So what we're saying is that if we care for our people are healthier, our people are happier, our people are more satisfied. Well, net promoter scores goes up. Everyone's happy, but initiatives don't just come from the top.
That's
right. Yeah.
It can come across the organization.
Yes.
Because it will take the village to make things happen.
Yeah.
The great thing about Singtel is that we provide very different types of diverse resources to the employees. But it does take leadership, and it does take acceptance and openness from the employees to try something new and be able to move forward.
Right. And well, I mean, you talk so much about leadership, you talk so much about that. I want to understand a little bit more about what you, as a leader, how people do role modeling. I mean, I role model the way I walk, the way I talk from my parents. In the organization, I role model my seniors, my peers, my leaders, my supervisors, my team leads, and so on and so forth. I mean, how do you do it? I just want to figure it out.
Well, one thing that we are very fortunate to be in Singtel is that there are resources available.
Right.
This is something that I want to promote. The responsibility for each individual to be able to participate and improve their own mental health.
Yeah, and to grow, right? Personal growth. Yeah.
And for that, you got to create the psychological safety. So
right.
That's the second part about being a leader, where I want to create an environment where people feel comfortable talking about it, promoting it, practicing it, and most importantly, asking for help when they do need help.
Right.
That's something which I personally believe that the more I speak about it, the more my leaders encourage open conversations with empathy. This is something where we can truly make a difference for our employees.
Yeah, so the empathy piece, the normalization of that conversation,
right.
The support of resources that's available. I mean, that sounds all great, right? I want to come to a very personal side of thing, right?
Okay.
I mean, we all want to keep it real. We want to have real stories. We want to have honesty in this, right? So take out all your tissue paper and, have it prepared, right? No, but really, I mean, all of us deal with some form of mental health and well-being issues or situations. I mean, I grew up as a caregiver, not knowing when my caregiving days would end. What about you? I mean, just want to draw that connection.
The fact of the matter is that the frontliners in my organization, in retail and in care, deal with very stressful situations.
Right, tell me these situations,
They are very unhappy customers. And when they call in, they have a problem. When they go to the store, sometimes they have a problem. And they themselves are stressed out.
Right.
They're unhappy about a situation, and sometimes they take it out on our employees.
Right.
In such situations, the stress levels really shoots up the roof.
And then what happens?
Where we provide them the support. We provide them training, we provide managers training on how they can manage such a tough situation and help them build resilience over time. But the reality is that they're all human,
right? And
it is highly stressful. And that's when they are allowed to take some time out to decompress. For example, everyone needs that. In our call center here in Singapore, we have a Zen room, which is basically a very quiet room with the lights turned down low for people to sit and decompress.
Yeah.
It's very hard when you're dealing with a stressful situation when the customer is screaming at you on a call.
Right.
And after you put down the phone, and then after you can be bright and cheerful with the next call that is coming in.
Yeah.
Right? So we provide that allowance for people to take some time out and decompress, speak to someone.
Yeah.
I think with that environment that we create, it becomes a safe environment. for people to be themselves, people to feel that psychological safety, and be able to grow and thrive in this organization.
Yeah. And earlier when we were talking on a casual, before we even started this podcast, we were talking about some form of training. I mean, there's some initiative going on. There's some.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
You've heard of first aid, workplace first aid, right? How about for us? On every floor, among the teams,
Right.
we do have mental health first aiders or first responders.
Right.
We've trained our colleagues to take care of one another, to identify situations where their colleague or friend is sitting nearby, having a stressful situation where they are feeling depressed, feeling sad. You notice that they are not coming to work on time.
Right.
You notice that they're having a short temperament or looking sad.
Yeah.
How do you respond to them and how do you take care of them?
Yeah.
When do they need a listening ear or a comforting pat on the back?
Right.
Versus us telling them that they do need professional help.
Yeah.
So that's something that we provide. In addition to that, we are also asking our own managers to go through mental resilience courses,
Right.
to help them train and identify what are the trigger words which will make people unhappy.
Yeah.
How do they identify their own stress levels? And this is something that once you know what you're going through, and you know the tools that are provided for you to manage your stress, that's more than half the battle won.
Yeah, that's half the better one. So we're talking about the Wellbeing First Responders program. I mean, there's a commitment from Singtel to embark on this journey of having individuals or leads or everyone.
It is a commitment. It's something that we believe is a necessity.
Right.
Because we do want people to be well, showing up at your best at work. But that means also you've got to take care of yourself, showing the best that you can in your personal life.
Yeah. So when you talk about personal life, I always have this saying, right? If you're not well at home, how can you bring that wellness back into the workplace? I mean, for me, it's really true, right? If I have a situation at home, I wouldn't be able to function here. I wouldn't be able to. And we were talking about this. We're saying that I haven't lost it before we even filmed this podcast
I agree.
at home. Yeah. So how do you deal with that? I mean,
I truly respect if you are a full-time caregiver.
Yeah.
I know that it is not easy. For many of our employees, they face different situations, whether they are a caregiver, whether they are facing with somebody who is facing challenges, whether it's physical or mental at home, whether it's a close friend or family member. It is hard. Even for myself.
Yes, tell us.
Throughout my entire adult life, I do have a family member that has struggled with mental illness.
Right.
And we've gone through the entire journey through decades of at first blaming the individual.
Right.
Not understanding the issue, not seeking professional help.
Yeah.
To the shame and embarrassment when you realize it wasn't the individual's fault.
Right.
When you bring in a professional psychologist and they say, well, this is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It can be fixed, but we've got to go through different types of medication in order to help find the right medication, for example.
Yeah. Never easy.
It's never easy because there's as many people would know, every medication has its side effects.
Yeah.
That perhaps brought me a greater awareness, a greater level of awareness and empathy.
Right.
That it's really not easy, and people need to recover. People need the support that's required for them. Many years later, where I am right now, leading an organization.
Right.
It is an organization that while I'm here, I want to be able to make that difference, so that people are able to take care of one another.
So now you advocate for it.
I'm a huge advocate for it. I know many of my employees well enough, and everyone has their story, from a loss of a loved one to a stressful financial situation or a stressful home. Everyone carries that in some way or another, and they can be bright and cheerful, but they're trying their best already.
Yeah, I understand.
The best that we can do as managers and as leaders is to support them and guide them and enable them. And that's what I believe Singtel does. Whether it is through the courses, whether it is through the environment that we create, or it is through availability of the Intellect app, for example.
Right. So I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yet again. Okay.
What would you say you can do on a personal level at the workplace to really support the well-being of your people, right?
I think for me, and it's something which I'm balancing the pressures of delivering the results.
Of course, the business
and
goals.
the business goals that we have, and the business is challenging, and we deal with different types of stressful situations all the time. Balancing that with the care for the individual. The first thing that I try to practice a lot on is taking the time to listen.
Right.
And I do not do that enough. It is very easy to give direction. It is very easy to command,
Right.
and you will get things done. But that's short term.
Yeah.
As I reflect upon my own actions, and our group CEO has shared that a leader casts a very long shadow. That means what you do affects many people, and many people will follow. I may win a short battle, I may get things done in short term, but I may damage things in the longer term that is valuable to us.
Right.
Relationship, the business fundamentals. This is something which I think myself, I've got to listen more, and I also have got to lead by example by doing so.
Yeah. So really, thank you very much for your honesty, sharing your vulnerabilities.
Sure.
I mean, I really want to thank you for being on the show.
Okay, thank you. It's been very interesting and engaging and surprising at the same time.
Yeah, so thank you very much. And as the last part of it, right, I just wanted to give you a hug.
Well, I need to give you a hug
For
also.
sharing